place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Joining me today is Mr. Lyndon Skeete, who recently won a competition hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture. Good morning, Mr. Skeete.
Good morning.
And how are you?
I'm very excited to be here this morning.
Okay, and dressing in his attire, we could tell that he is a farmer, and we are here on his property where he rears his cows. So, Mr. Skeete, let's get into all of this. When did you first start rearing these cows?
Well, actually, rearing these cows, I started about 12 to 15 years ago. However, this is a lifelong legacy with me because our father had on this very land about 46 heads of cows plus about 75 head of sheep. So it's a family legacy. My brothers, my sisters, all of us, we were exposed to this kind of lifestyle. But I decided that I'm going to take it up, and here we are today. All right?
Okay, and how has that experience been for you thus far?
Well, very fulfilling. Definitely, the aspect of I love animals, right? And so I always it's a part of my DNA, I should say, right? And basically, seeing that you can bring an animal from birth to maturity and things like that, it's very exciting and so on, fulfilling. But also, it calls for commitment because it's not something that you do based on your feelings. Because you cannot get up this morning and because it's raining, I cannot go and tend to them and so on, and so on. It calls for commitment.
So a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication and discipline goes into raising these
definitely.
cows.
Sure.
Okay, and can you share with me, you recently won a competition. How has that experience been for you?
Well, I would like you to rephrase the question. The bull recently won a competition, right? I was just, basically, I was very excited in terms of winning this competition, the best dairy bull in Trinidad and Tobago, not only in Tobago, but in Trinidad and Tobago. And that speaks volume. You know, it tells me, therefore, that despite the fact that we are the smaller of the two islands, that we have a lot of potential here, right? And so entering the bull, I was not timid or anything like that. Basically, what I told my wife is that once the judges are fair, I think that we can do it because I know the caliber and the potential of the animal that I have, you know.
And what is the name of the animal, if you don't mind
we
sharing?
call him Big Boy.
Big Boy. And is there a special reason for that?
Well, basically, my sons and, we are toying with things and they always, and I just see, if you see him in stride, right, how he walks and things like that and so on, his general demeanor, we call him Big Boy, but he's very, very docile. It's a very docile animal. It's very tame. Actually, it's like a pet. You can go and rub him and so on. Right? Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and what's a specific breed of cow is he?
This is a Holstein bull, right? Holstein, right? Yeah.
All right. And how much kilograms does he weigh?
No, well, I don't know the exact weight, but basically, this bull should be up in the 2,000 plus weight category.
And what criteria allowed him to win the competition?
Well, basically, the breed won. That's one. If you look at the animal, the length of it, the straightness of its back is despite how large the bull is, you look at its agility to perform and everything like that. And so, in terms of the condition, well, today he's not in the best condition because one of the animals are actually females are in heat. So he is not eating and things like that. So he's really focusing his attention on that. But but as you see, if you look at the length and the posture of the animal and things like that, the general demeanor of the animal, you will see that he's a winner.
Oh, so he won from the get-go, in essence.
Actually, the other bulls that were there were also first and second place were also top of the line animals as well.
Okay.
Right? But what I'm saying, one of the main things is that, and I would like to reiterate this, is that this bull is born and bred in Tobago, right? And all the judges were Trinidad judges, right? And this bull came first. But that should tell us something,
Yes, that
right?
is an amazing
Yeah,
accomplishment. And
definitely.
do you think that more needs to be done to improve agriculture here on the island of Tobago?
Well, basically, agriculture, Tobago, Tobago is Trinidad's largest market, right? From an economical standpoint. And in terms of our food sustainability, that's a serious issue that we need to look at. If you go at the port at any given time when the vessels come in, you will see our dependency on Trinidad. And I'm saying that we have the potential here where we can do a lot. It means, therefore, that I know that there are serious farmers out there because I'm not a full-time farmer, right? Most of the guys in Trinidad are full-time farmers and what have you. And I do farming basically in the morning time and in the evening time, right? I fill my day with my other activities and so on. But if we get the necessary kind of help, because in other words, let me put it in this way, I may have the vision, but I may lack the capacity to fulfill that vision. That is where the department of and the THA could come on board and assist the farmers so that they can broaden their horizon, right? And because this is like a hobby, but it could turn into a business, right?
And in terms of education, a lot of young people don't see the value in agriculture anymore, and they don't see it as something that could be profitable for them. Do you think that within the education system that more emphasis needs to be placed on agriculture?
Yeah, most definitely. Because, for instance, one may go through their life without visiting a lawyer, or at birth they get a doctor, but after that they may be lucky enough never to just to go visit a doctor office or and things like that. But every day of your life you are dependent on someone who is doing farming, you know. If you check your breakfast, everything that you eat, it comes back to the soil, it comes back to the extractive industry. So that agriculture is definitely, but one of the things is that there is a myth that agriculture is beneath and agriculture is what and what have you. So that it's something that we need to re-educate people about, that agriculture is important, all right? Because I have good friends who have masters and doctorate in agriculture in different parts of the world, right? But
That's
here,
interesting.
what I see happening is that when the folks go to UE and so on, they study the same agricultural science. All they do, they come out to be a field officer and what have you. But we need to broaden the horizon. And as I said before, Tobago has the potential, but the farmers, I think, need additional help. Right?
Okay, in terms of profitability in cattle rearing, how profitable is this?
Well, as I said, well, cattle rearing could be, I'm just part-time, right? And for instance, I will have, let's say, one of my bulls, young bulls, right? It will take about, with good treatment, within 1 year, you can fetch at least 7,000, 8,000 for him, right? So an individual, once you can do that intense kind of, on a more large-scale basis, then, right? Because the part of me raising these animals is actually to help me with the park as well, in terms of the maintenance of the park. Hence the reason why the name of the park is Buku Historical Park and Nature Center. That is where the cows come in, because definitely we thought that we must make the animals a part of the vision that we have, right? Yeah.
How did you feel once you knew that you won the competition?
Actually, well, while I'm there and the head judge came out on the stage and presented the 3 animals with the videos, and actually they were making the comparison. And from that moment, I knew definitely, based on the way in which he presented, because he was comparing all the other animals to Big Boy. And so Big Boy actually had all the necessary pointers and so on. So I was overwhelmed because basically it was a moment that I felt extremely proud of, knowing that I've kept this legacy alive. And despite the fact that our father died a long time ago, I think that it's something that you would have been proud of, to see that we can now be in a position to win a national competition. Because of course the bull won in Tobago 2 times already, right, in the World Foods Day. But with this one, you are talking about a grand prize of $50,000, right? Our idea is actually to try to improve the farm with other, with better livestock, other breeding animals and things like that, females and so on. So my counterparts in Trinidad, they're already assisting in terms of in that area to source those kind of things so that we can have something more meaningful on in the Buku Historical Park.
And do you think if the opportunity arises again that you would enter the competition?
Yeah, of course. Next year, I was told for next year they will be doing beef, and of course, as you see in the background, right, we have a red pole, right, a bull. So we are looking to have him ready for next year, and actually we're looking at entering a female as well. In the beef category also, because last year I also won the best in the local competition here. I also won the best beef category as well for female beef. Right? Yeah.
And do you think that more opportunities like this in terms of the competition and other programs need to be held quite frequently?
Well, basically, it's just to me, it's not frequently, but annually is quite satisfactory. But you put the necessary ingredient in it to ensure that whatever you are bestowing to the farmer, that is respected. When I say that, let me elaborate. In Tobago, I'm not saying that the price in Tobago should mirror those that in Trinidad, right? But at least to mine a bull, right? Let's say this bull, let's say it's 8 years old, right? I got to see about him every day of my life, right? Whether it's raining or what have you. 365 days by 8, you know how much days that is, right? And then you will get a price of $1,000. But let me make a comparison. Allow me, give me this latitude. We'll have a fishing tournament. I'm not against, I have a lot of friends who are fishermen, right? They will go out and they will catch one fish. They have never fed that fish, right? They have never seen the fish before, but their price will be a boat, $50,000 and an engine, right? Maybe the risk is greater, but on our side, the commitment is equal. So that I'm saying that the organizers in Tobago, that they could reach out to the corporate society and try to make the price a little more palatable so that you give the farmer that sense of belonging, that sense of that, hey, I'm appreciated, okay? And then we will see a greater input in terms and effort from the farmers.
I think that is amazing, and I'm glad that you brought up that comparison. Thank you, Mr. Lyndon Skeete, for being here with us, and congratulations.
Yes, my
on
dear,
your win.
and you're always welcome.
Okay. Okay, so we have been chatting with Mr. Lyndon Skeete, who recently won a competition held by the Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you so much, Mr. Skeete, for joining us here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Don't forget to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'd be right back.